Let me guess. You've already made plans for the new year, maybe goals, maybe resolutions, maybe a promise that this year will be different. And if you're being honest, there's also a quiet fear underneath that thought, because this isn't the first time you've done this, is it? Most New Year plans don't fail because people don't want them badly enough. They fail because they're built on a misunderstanding of how progress actually works. By the end of January, motivation fades, pressure creeps back in, and suddenly you're behind again, even though you started strong. In this video, I want to show you why most New Year plans fail before January ends, and more importantly, how to build momentum into 2026 without panic, burnout, or constant self-pressure. This isn't about setting better goals, it's about resetting the conditions you're trying to achieve them under. The start of a new year feels powerful, it feels clean. Psychologically, your brain loves fresh starts. There's distance from the mistakes of last year, distance from the things you didn't finish, distance from the pressure you've been carrying. So you plan big, more focus, more discipline, better habits, more consistency. But here's the problem. Most New Year plans are created in a moment of relief and executed in a state of pressure. And those two states don't speak the same language. You don't live your life in January the way you imagine it in December. Most people think their plans fail because they lack motivation, discipline, willpower. That's not true. Plans fail because they ignore mental load and nervous system state. When pressure is high, your brain shifts into protection mode, focus narrows, decision-making weakens, tasks feel heavier than they objectively are. This is why even simple habits start to feel exhausting. You're not lazy, your brain is overloaded. I know this firsthand. For years I set goals the right way, I planned carefully, I broke things down, I worked hard, and yet every January, the same pattern repeated. Strong start, fast fatigue, then quiet self-blame. What I didn't understand then, and what most productivity advice still misses, is that pressure changes how effort feels. Under sustained pressure, your brain treats tasks as threats. Not intellectually, neurologically. Open loops, unfinished tasks, unresolved decisions, they all sit in the background, quietly consuming attention. This is why you can be busy and still feel behind. You can rest and not feel restored. You can plan and still feel stuck. Your brain is never fully off. So when January arrives and you add new goals on top of existing load, the system just collapses. Not because the goals are wrong, but because the foundation is unstable. This is the part most resolutions never address. When plans start to slip, the instinct is always the same. Push harder, tighten routines, add accountability, increase pressure. But pressure doesn't create momentum. In fact, it destroys it. Momentum comes from felt safety, not force. When your nervous system feels overwhelmed, your brain resists action, even action you genuinely want to take. This is why you can want change and still procrastinate. It's not self-sabotage, it's self-protection. And until you work with that, not against it, your plans will keep collapsing under their own weight. This is where the momentum reset method comes in. Instead of asking, how do I push myself to do more? It asks, what's making action feel unsafe or heavy right now? Momentum reset focuses on lowering internal resistance before increasing output. Because when pressure drops, clarity returns. When clarity returns, action becomes easier. And when action feels easier, consistency follows naturally. This isn't about doing less forever. It's about doing the right things from a regulated state. That shift changed everything for me. I stopped planning from fantasy and started planning from reality. Momentum isn't created by massive overhauls. It's created by closing open loops, reducing cognitive clutter, creating safe starting points, shifting language from I have to I choose to, regulating stress before demanding focus. These aren't motivational tricks. They're nervous system aligned strategies. When you do this first, goals stop feeling like pressure and start feeling like direction. This is how progress becomes repeatable, even on hard days, even when life is busy, even when motivation isn't perfect. Imagine entering 2026 without the constant sense of urgency. You still care, you still aim high, but you're no longer operating from panic or pressure. You move forward with purpose, not force. That's the difference between resolutions that fail and momentum that compounds. If you want to build that kind of year, start by resetting the system, not blaming yourself. That's what this channel is here for. If this resonated, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. More videos in this series will help you lower pressure, restore clarity, and build momentum that actually lasts.